Hey everyone, Chris Stoltz coming at you once again from the MuppetStuff Museum. I know it's been a while since our last video, but I wanted to come on here and just let you know we have something really special planned. It's taking a little longer than expected, but hopefully it'll be out soon and you will all really enjoy it and it'll be worth the wait. Trust me, I really think you're going to dig it. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you some really cool pickups as a little thank you for waiting so long and being so patient for this next video. I recently took a trip to Ocean Grove, New Jersey, where they have a town-wide flea market. It's really interesting. It gets really packed there. The town itself of Ocean Grove has a sidewalk sale, which is pretty cool. Then they have this massive flea market outside of this church area where they have all kinds of vendors and all kinds of really cool stuff there as well. They didn't have this flea market last year, obviously due to COVID, and this is the first year back, so I really wanted to make sure I checked it out, and let's see what we found. The first thing I discovered was this Jim Henson's Muppet Stories book with Muppet babies on the cover. This is number 2. I am not quite sure how many of these they made. I know I have number 1, number 6, and number 7, but I was definitely missing this number 2 because I had not seen this cover. It didn't kind of ring a bell when I saw this cover. It was in a stack of books at part of the sidewalk sale. They were asking $1 for this, so I immediately grabbed this for my collection as I knew it was something I needed and didn't have. So this was a good start for the day. It was just like I said, just sitting there in a box of books, kind of scroll through. I'm like, nothing really in here. Then, oh, here we go, off to a good start. And this was definitely a good sign of things to come. When we got to the main area of the flea market, we found a vendor that was selling Muppet prints that they had created. Really nicely done. As you can see, these are all fan-made. They're not licensed, but still really cool. These are from Honored Daisy. You can find her on Instagram, Etsy, and Facebook. So definitely check those out if you're interested. I knew I was really on a roll when I found this next item. It's a 1976 Avon Kermit Paint-A-Cloth kit. And basically, while the box isn't in mint condition, it's just basically missing its shrink wrap. Since it's opened already, I will show you what's inside. Okay, inside is this fabric Kermit with Kermit sitting on a box of luggage. And it still has its paints. Now, obviously, the paints are pretty dry, and I probably wouldn't use them because I'm not going to make it anyway. But that is really neat, and that's how you know it's in mint condition. It still has all the paints still sealed and still in their container. It just doesn't have its shrink wrap. So this was an amazing find for like 15 bucks. Can't beat it. It's going in my Avon collection in the entrance to the museum. If I thought I couldn't do better than that find, I was wrong, because about a few tables over, I found another amazing Muppet find. A bag of mainly Sesame Street items for $3 for this whole bag. Included is a extremely rare Sherlock Hemlock figure. Here you can see the Sherlock Hemlock figure. It was released in the early 70s and is extremely rare to find in this condition. It is pretty much mint. And for less than $3 for this figure, that is an amazing deal, an amazing find. Also included in the bag was this vintage Child Guidance Grover finger puppet, this die-cast Ernie truck with Ernie driving a cement truck. It's not vintage, it's from 2007, but it's still really cool. And this red Fraggle. This was from McDonald's. It was the under 3 toy as part of their Happy Meals. Most of the other toys were in little cars. Like I think red was in a radish or something. And so there's moving parts. So they had under 3 toys with no moving parts for children under 3. And this is red carrying a radish as a little PVC figure that you could get. Still kind of rare these days to find. Very cool. For under $3, included with the amazing Sherlock Hemlock. Pretty good find. Now, I thought that was definitely going to be the deal of the day. $3 for a pack of figures, especially with that rare Sherlock Hemlock. How could I possibly top that? And one stand over, I find this Snuffleupagus PVC. It spins around with this little 8. And this was 50 cents. I mean, and it is in mint condition. You don't see a lot of Snuffleupagus merchandise. This is really cool. Like I said, it spins around. 8 is great, but I paid 50 cents. This was part of Applause's Sesame Street line of PVCs released in the late 80s and early 90s. And it's interesting. He looks like an elephant anyway, but he really has an elephant's pose in this design. It's very circusy, like I said, with the 8 spinning around and the stars on the back. But wow, I was blown away when I found this. Speaking of Sesame Street related items, I also picked up this Sesame Street country record, which I'm pretty sure I do not have. Not even on CD. I'm not a big country music fan, but I needed to have this LP for my Sesame record collection. The record itself is in great shape, and it really has a nice little gatefold cover with all the lyrics to the songs, and the back is in really great condition as well. So for, I think it was $3, I had to pick this up as well. Another $3 find was this 1984 Muppet Hallmark glass ornament. It features Kermit in a wreath on one side and Miss Piggy in a wreath on the other. For $3, this was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Great day at the flea market for sure. Not only is it a town-wide flea market / garage sale, other neighboring towns kind of get on the act and have their own as well. And there's also some multi-family garage sales happening. So I went on an app and tried to find, what else was happening in the nearby area. And I came across this one house where they had all kinds of cool stuff. In the first box of books, I found this Bear in the Big Blue House, 2 Can Share 2 book. In another box, I found not one, but 2 copies of Marlo Thomas's Free to Be You and Me. Now, what does that have to do with Muppets? Well, many Sesame Street writers, including Norman Stiles, Christopher Cerf, and Jeff Moss, contributed to this book, as well as a certain famous frog you may have heard of. That's right, Kermit contributed to this book as well. They have a whole little illustrated story of On My Pond, and it says Words and Music by Kermit the Frog. So that's an interesting touch. They actually give him full credit for writing On My Pond. And as you can see, it's really well illustrated. Here is Kermit with a guitar, not a banjo for some reason, but Kermit with a guitar singing On My Pond. The next page shows people littering and throwing garbage into Kermit's pond, and finally cleaning it up and leaving it the way they found it. Not only is that story included, but the full lyrics and sheet music for the song as well. I thought it was a little odd to find both the hardcover and soft cover of the book at the same time, along with a few other Marlo Thomas items. When I went up to pay for these, the woman said, just so you know, these are from Marlo Thomas's personal collection. The woman had worked at Marlo Thomas's offices, and these were in the offices when they closed, and she took these with her as personal souvenirs, and then now was getting rid of them. When I asked how much she was asking for these, she said $25, and I almost was like, ooh, that's a little bit much for these books. Nope, 25 cents each. So I got these 2 books for 25 cents. I got the Bear in the Big Blue House book for 25 cents, and I can't even remember what else I got there. Oh, right. This Burt puppet. This Burt puppet was from the same stand. He wasn't 25 cents. He was $1. $1 for this Burt puppet, and he still has his applause tag. So all applause for that stand, and I'm glad I went because some really, really cool finds. Of course, I couldn't just check out the flea market or the multi-family garage sales. I had to see what the local thrift stores had to offer as well. There I found this copy of Dinosaur Train Big, Big, Big on DVD, a copy of Sesame Street All-Star Alphabet starring Stephen Colbert, a weekly reader Fraggle Rock Moki's birthday present book, and 3 Big Bird Story Magic books. Here we have No Cookies Till Dinner, Imagine That, and The Colors of Spring. I also found this copy of the Sesame Street book Every Morning at Playgroup. Apparently at this thrift store, every Friday and Saturday, all the media is half off. So what typically with these would be like 75 cents or $1, they were half off of that. So had to pick them up. I was also recently in New Jersey for the Farpoint It's a Toy Store, It's a Toy Show toy show, which they had at 2 separate locations. And if you've seen any of my videos with Cinema Sickness, you may have seen me actually take over at the second location and shoot one of Dave's videos for him at the second location, where I found all kinds of cool Muppet stuff. Actually, at both locations I found cool Muppet stuff. So I figured as part of this video, I'd show you that stuff as well. Here we have a Sesame Street, Cookie Monster, and Grover True Blue featuring C is for Cookie. Still brand new factory sealed cassette tape. And you can see Cookie Monster and Grover right there on the tape. On the back, we have C is for Cookie, The Monster's 3 Wishes, Gotta Be Blue, The Ballad of Casey McPhee, which I am not sure I'm that familiar with, The Magic Cookie, Cookie Disco, and then those are all Cookie Monster songs. And then side 2 is all Grover, and it's Proud of Me, 32 Cracks in the Sidewalk, Over, Under, Around, and Through, Fuzzy and Blue and Orange, Climbing 9 Stairs, There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea, and Still We Like Each Other. All really, really cool. Nice to find this in like mint condition, brand new, factory sealed. Had to pick this up. Speaking of Grover, I also found this vintage Grover beanbag plush, still with its tags, and it looks like it came from like Kmart or something. I'm not sure whose other tag this was on top, but it still has its original Applause tag and its hang tag as well. That was really neat to find. Always cool to find such neat Sesame Street items in great condition, because, you know, kids played with them. They're toys. Shh, don't tell anybody. These are not to be played with. These are collector's items. But initially they were toys. Always cool to find them in such great condition. I also picked up these vintage Dinosaurs Valentines. These are really, really cool. I have a different set of Dinosaurs Valentines in my holiday collection, but I had never seen this packaging before. Mine, I think, just has Robbie on it. This here, you can see the whole entire Sinclair family, including Grandma. You don't see her a lot of merch. Grandma Dinosaur. Of course, there's Earl, or not the mama, Fran, Charlene, Robbie, and the baby. On the back, we have a sample of different cards. We have Earl, Robbie, and everybody but Grandma in this family portrait up here. I'm not sure what the rest of the cards look like. This is still brand new and factory sealed, so I'm not going to open it. But I'm assuming there's more designs than just these 3. But there's 38 in here. If you were lucky enough to be someone's Valentine back in the day and got these, send a message down below and let me know what other designs were included. At our buddy Brian's booth, we picked up this large vintage vinyl Big Bird bank. Here you can see Big Bird in his nest with this giant bag of bird seed, and that is where you would put your change. Here's where the rubber stopper would be, where you could retrieve your funds to buy more bird seed, then you could use as money to buy bird seed in the thing. It's very confusing. Here is a Big Bird bank. How to get it. We also picked up this Country Bears McDonald's Happy Meal toy. Now, as you may be aware, the Henson company did all the creature effects for that movie, and here we have, this was number 5. This was Tennessee O'Neill, which I do not believe I already had in my collection. I do have a few of these Country Bears, but I don't believe I had this one. So for $1 or 50 cents, whatever it was, I had to grab this for the collection as well. Next up is a pickup, not for me, but for my friend Aaron, who collects Burt and Ernie merch. So this small little PVC figures of Burt and Ernie, it was $5 for the 2 of them. She wanted this. She doesn't have this in her collection, so I picked these Burt and Ernie figurines up for her. I'm not sure the dates. They're not vintage, but they are really, really cute. They're really good representation, clean, not too beat up. So these are for her. When I saw this next item, I completely freaked out because you do not see these out in the wild very often. This is a Moki Fraggle PVC figure by Applause. They did 2 separate lines of Fraggle Rock PVC figures. This was the second wave of figures. They're a little larger than the first, but you don't see them very often. So here we have Moki in her dancing. She got her leg just extended out. It's really, really cool. The pose they chose for this. Don't see them very often, and I got it for $1. I completely freaked out. If you saw the video, you see me freaking out. The link, it'll be down below in the links to watch that video as well. Wow, Moki Fraggle PVC in the wild. I mean, she came out of her Fraggle cave just for me to find. Last, but certainly not least, was this Muppet Babies Rocket to the Stars vintage vinyl record. This is pretty hard to find these days. The record was in great condition. I actually have the reprint of this with the yellow border, but this is the original pressing, the original cover. Very hard to find. On the back, we have all the Muppet babies out on the window. We even have a little Robin up there. That's cool. Bunsen and Beaker. Really, really neat. The guy was asking $30 for this. I asked him if he could do 25. He said, for you, I can do 20. Just amazing. Blew me away. Thank you again for watching these videos and for supporting us and for being such a cool guy and, you know, knowing that it's going to the right place. This was released by Parker Brothers Music. Hard to find, like I said. Amazing. Just sitting there in the wild. You never know where you're going to find these things. But wait, there's more. While I'm doing this video of recent events, I have to give a shout out to Crazy Joe. Yes, Crazy Joe was recently down at Dragon Con, where at the Center for Puppetry Arts, the Henson Company donated some vintage items because they knew fans were going to be in town for Dragon Con. And Joe was there. He sent me some pictures, said, hey, Chris, you're going to freak out. They have some really cool vintage pieces here. And I did freak out. And he shipped these back to me. And you are going to freak out when you see them as well. Here we have a vintage Labyrinth Ludo costume. This is really, really cool. Yes, here you can see Ludo. You can see that the plastic is there. The plastic is actually not attached anymore. The plastic had fallen off, but it is still in mint condition behind it. So because it's not sealed, I'm going to open it up. Here you can see a better view of the Ludo Mask, and these came with like a bib. So here you can see the bib costume that came with it. Gently put that back in the box. This is so cool. These go for crazy money on eBay, and it was actually pretty fairly well priced at the Center for Puppetry Arts' gift shop. So I was happy to pick this up, and I'm glad Joe was kind enough to be crazy enough to ship this back to me. Interesting to note that these were made by Collegeville, the Collegeville Costume Company in Collegeville, PA, which is not that far from my house or Joe's house, but wound up all the way in Atlanta and then made its way back home again. But that is not all, not by a long shot. Joe also picked up for me this Muppets Casio keyboard. This is the Muppets Casio EP20. They made different Casio keyboards for the Muppets back in the late 80s. They made this Muppets Casio keyboard as well as a Muppet Babies version as well. This has been on my wish list as a grail for a long time. These are incredibly hard to find. Usually when you do, they're kind of beat up and everything. This is still new old stock, mint in the box. It is absolutely stunningly gorgeous, especially to find a grail like this in this condition. Unbelievable. My hat and my shirt and whatever else goes off to Crazy Joe for finding this and being, like I said, crazy enough. He shipped this back to me. Unbelievable. He also picked up one more item. Amazing stuff from the Center for Puppetry Arts. Please go there, watch Joe's videos, support everybody. Freaking out, just freaking out. I'm just gonna sit here and just play this thing in my mind because I'm never gonna open the box, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's
Crazy Joe. Hey everyone, so guess where I am? I am at Joe's house. Speak of the devil, I told you that Joe had given me found me some really cool Muppet stuff at Dragon Con, and now I'm at his house now.
This is not my house. This is all green screen.
Green screen.
We are behind the burned down Shoney's at the side of the interstate right now.
Behind the burned down tree, down by the barn. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, FYI, top secret location. But Joe found these awesome items. I'm going to hand them over to Joe, and he's going to hand them back to me because I want him to show you what he found at the Center for Puppetry Arts at Dragon Con.
Yes, the Atlanta Center for Puppetry Arts at Dragon Con had the Dark Crystal Ball.
Oh.
On the Thursday night of Dragon Con. Everybody came in Dark Crystal costumes. I didn't go because I'm not a cosplayer.
That's on my list of things I really want to do. I really want to do that one year. It's always Labor Day weekend. I always usually have something else going on, but one of these years it's going to happen.
If you had been there and were going, I would have gone because it was one of those things where it's like, I'm going to stick out because I'm not a cosplayer and I'm going alone. I don't know anybody.
I'm sure you would have known somebody. I mean, a Skeksis or two, you probably wouldn't have recognized a Skeksis or two. Maybe even a Fizzgig. You would recognize a Fizzgig.
I got a Fizzgig over here.
Oh,
somewhere.
There's a Fizzgig hidden somewhere.
Here's a Fizzgig. Here's a Fizzgig for you.
Oh.
Where's the face? Where's the face of the Fizgig? There's the face. Yeah, I got a Fizgig. You know what else I have somewhere down here? In fact, it's on that table. I'm sorry it's not over here. See that little bag on the side of that table there?
Yeah.
You know what's in there?
No. Should I go over there and find out?
Do you want to? If you want to, it's up to you. Do you want to know what's in the bag?
I think everyone wants to know what's in the bag. I think everyone is now intrigued. All right, I'm gonna go find out. All right.
And while he's gone, you see that little tray table there? There's a little satiny black bag. No, the other one.
This one.
Yes.
Here.
Oh yeah.
This little bag.
There's something in that bag.
All right, I'm coming over.
There's something in that gag. That bag. The gag. I said it's not a gag. It's a bag.
It's his bag, baby. All right, so we had this little bag. Should I open this bag?
Yeah.
What's in this little bag? All right.
Maybe I could play a little flute while you look in there.
Oh! It's a shard. What's to do with the shard? You heal the dark crystal. That's my Scottish augur, I guess.
Yeah, I picked that. I picked that up at Dragon Con.
That's very cool. You heal the dark crystal. Okay, that's pretty cool. I've seen a guy at some of these conventions Dave and I have been going to that have replicas of these. So that is really cool. You can heal the dark crystal later.
Yes.
Let's see what you found here.
So to give the backstory, for the Dark Crystal Ball, the Henson company brought vintage Henson merchandise for sale in the gift shop. I went the next day. I kind of got what was left. Imagine what was there the first day.
Wait. So the stuff, because you sent me pictures, and the stuff was amazing. And this is going to happen after the stuff I already showed that you picked up. So everyone knows that you went to Dragon Con, you saw this stuff. I have a quick question. So this was day two. You went.
This was day 2. Day 1. I don't know. I mean, an original Kermit the Frog puppet may have been on the table for all I know. I don't know. This is the leftover stuff that I picked up. But I saw these immediately. You wanted more stuff that I like. My brain didn't immediately go, Chris is going to want that. But as soon as I saw these, I knew you were going to want these. These are film reels of the Muppet meeting films. And then I guess I don't know when these were made. The copyright date says 1956 on it.
1975 is the last copyright date
right.
on there. So that's when and these are 16 millimeters.
Yeah.
So you're talking that these were used again through the 80s, but probably the copyright was 1975 because that's the last time they put these groupings out or whatever. But I mean, 16 millimeter films. This is really cool. You don't see these often. These are, again, right from the Hensons that they gave to the Center for Puppetry Arts as part of their fundraiser because, the fans were going to be there for Dragon Con. And Joe was like, Chris, you want these? And I said, yeah. Yeah, wrap those bad boys up.
This one is Muppet Coffee Break Films. 3 short films designed for use during a business meeting to introduce a coffee break. Kermit and the Monster, The Coffee Break Machine, and Explosion are the 3 on this one.
And this is Muppet Picker Upper Films. Again, designed for use at specific moments during the course of any business meeting. When you have a lag, you can use these to do a picker upper. And introduction serves as an excellent introduction to your speaker. When Kermit the Frog forgets the name of the person he's supposed to be introducing, the film provides 4 soundless seconds in which you can introduce your own speaker, either live or on tape through the sound system. This film can also be used before any speaker during the meeting, and it has announcements, the final speech, and then it says, also see our coffee break films for charming and hilarious Muppet performances that can be shown at any time during your meeting to announce a coffee break. So, very cool. So there's, I think, 3 more of these reels. So I'm on the hunt for the other 3. If you happen to have a lead on the other 3, let me know. Comment down below. But these are absolutely amazing, right from the Henson archives.
Look, it's got the address, Henson Associates Inc. That's the old brownstone, isn't it?
Yes, we can show that on camera now because they don't have that there anymore. So when you're doing a Henson tour of New York, there's the address. Check that place out. There's feet. There's frog feet. There's flipper prints in the cement out there.
Really?
Or I think it's like a half a block down the street. But yes, it's somewhere in there. It's part of the thing. So these are really cool. thank you so much for finding these. Thank you so much for the other object. We saw the keyboard, and we saw the Labyrinth mask and costume set. That was just totally insane. Those are incredibly rare. The Casio keyboard, as I told you, was a Grail find for me. That Labyrinth Ludo costume, not far off from a Grail. That is incredibly rare. I checked that on Muppet Wiki when I was making my video. It's not even on there. They have the fiery version. They don't even mention the Ludo version. So
wow.
We are beating the Muppet Wiki on something on this. So watch out.
Do you know what item I recently saw? And you know, you and I are in all the same Facebook groups, so you probably saw it too. But you know what, like, old Halloween costume I saw recently on one of the Facebook groups? They made a Halloween costume of, like, Marie Dodo from
oh yes,
Bird.
I did see that on that group.
I thought that was so bizarre. It's like, of all the characters.
And they didn't make a whole lot of Follow That Bird merch. So if you have a lead on a Follow That Bird costume and Follow That Bird merch, again, comment down below, because that's one of my next sections of the museum, Muppet movies, and that's a I don't want to say unheard of, because people heard of it, but it's just underappreciated, undervalued was the word I was looking for. Undervalued, underappreciated Muppet movie. Much, much, much better than Elmo and Grouchland. And I hope the new Sesame movie they're working on is more in the vein of Follow That Bird and much less than in the vein of Elmo and Grouchland. All right, well, that is going to do it, I think, for this video. Thanks to Joe again for picking these up. Thanks for Joe for hosting in the Lunchbox crew. Watch for Lunchbox videos and Joe's Mega Podtastic videos. We are not wearing pajamas right now. We are wearing actual clothes, but keep wearing those pajamas. That's his catchphrase if you're not familiar. And we'll see you later, and I'll see you in the next video. You'll see Joe in other videos somewhere else. That's all I can say. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at some recent items I picked up that, well, I picked up, people picked up for me, I picked up for other people, pickups everywhere. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on our social media channels, and we'll see you next time from the MuppetStuff Museum. It's almost in mint condition. It's just basically missing its shrimp. It's just basically missing its shrink wrap. Where are we? YouTube.